Developing now, a teen accused of bringing a loaded gun to school faces a judge. WLWT News 5's Megan Mitchell is covering what happened. Megan.
Yeah, Ashley, good afternoon to you. And that suspect, Urias Orso Miller, should have been in school today, but instead he is at the Hamilton County Justice Center. And as you can imagine, this incident has no doubt raised concerns about school safety from the very first day of school. In court this morning, Urias Orso Miller appeared before a judge while wearing his Don High School uniform. The prosecutor asked the judge for a high bond, saying, quote, most people in the community would consider an 18-year-old carrying a loaded firearm tucked in his waistband to be a danger. According to the superintendent of Don Community High School, Orso Miller said he said that Orso Miller is a good student, and when he came in, he was acting normal. They performed their normal protocol security check. They found the weapon, but it raises the question, why did he have it?
August 23rd.
After speaking with him, we found out that, he didn't have a problem with anyone here in the building, nor a teacher, not a student. He just brought it for protection in his neighborhood. And, we told him, of course, he can't do that. We went through that whole spiel. But, this is it's a hard lesson to learn, and it's an unfortunate scenario. But I'm glad that we were able to put all those security measures in place to be able to identify this.
Absolutely. And this incident comes, of course, as mass shootings are at the top of people's mind. Orso Miller's bond is set at $50,000. Megan Mitchell, WLWT News 5.
Orso Miller is facing 2 weapons charges. His case will go before a grand jury on August 23rd.
And turning now to weather, some stray showers expected, bringing with it a break from the humidity. You'll feel that as soon as you step outside. WLWT's News 5's Steve Norris has Cincinnati's most accurate forecast. Steve, when are we going to see this break finally?
Well, you know what? Probably later on tonight and then during the day tomorrow. And it's not going to be a huge break from the humidity. It will be just a little more tolerable than what it is right now. We're dry. Live WLWT radar indicating that. But I want to show you just to the north. We're talking about just north of the Dayton area. We're beginning to see some showers and thunderstorms fire up, and I think we will see those move southward throughout the afternoon and into at least part of the tri-state by, say, 3-4 o'clock this afternoon. Right now, just haze out there, and boy, you could almost kind of cut the air with a knife, very thick out there. 82, the current temperature at the International Airport. Some other areas, Batavia, Oxford, Wilmington, still in the upper 70s. And as far as the mugginess is concerned, it's oppressive out there right now. We'll call it just sticky as we head through the next 3 days. If you're heading down to the tennis center, why not? Warm and muggy this afternoon. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms. It's the men and women's middle rounds going on today, guys.
Well, new this noon, Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Dieters has cleared Sharonville officers of any wrongdoing after an officer-involved shooting at a Sharonville hotel on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the 53-year-old suspect is still recovering in the hospital. Police got a call saying that Dwayne Harrison was on drugs at a Sharonville hotel, threatening to jump out of the window and take his daughter with him. Police say that Police and SWAT teams moved in. They say Harrison then came out of his room and shot at an officer. Officers returned fire. And later today, a friend of the Dayton mass shooter is expected to be in court this afternoon. Ethan Colley is accused of buying some of the equipment used in the shooting. Investigators say that Colley lied about drug use when he was buying guns, but later admitted that he smokes marijuana and uses other drugs. Colley was friends with Connor Betts for several years, but says he did not know what Betts was planning. That hearing is scheduled for 3 this afternoon.
The search continues for a BB Riverboats employee who fell overboard yesterday into the Ohio River. So search crews were back out this morning, marking day 2 of their recovery efforts. After spending hours in the water yesterday, Newport's fire chief says the 24-year-old employee fell between the Belle of Cincinnati and a docked banquet facility. And the search continues for a man Cincinnati police say crashed overnight and left the scene. So we're told the driver slammed into a building on Reading Road in Mount Auburn about 3 o'clock this morning. You can see the damage there to the corner of the building. But by the time officers got on scene, the driver was gone.
Well, coming up, the lawsuit against the city of Cincinnati moving forward following the death of 16-year-old Kyle Plush.
The hearing scheduled for today and what we could learn from it.
But first, in the wake of these recent deadly mass shootings, some parents are now sending their kids to school with added protection. The new trend of bulletproof backpacks. That's next on Cincinnati's WLWT News 5.
This right here
An Ohio teen charged with threats against federal authorities had more than 24 guns and thousands of rounds of ammo.
18-year-old Justin Olson of Boardman, Ohio, is charged with threatening to assault a federal law enforcement officer in an online post. According to court documents, when authorities served a search warrant on his home, they found more than 10,000 rounds of ammunition and 25 guns, including an AR-15. Olson remains in custody pending a detention hearing on Friday.
With shootings and other scares, some parents have an extra item on their supply list this year, and that's bulletproof backpacks.
They cost about $200, but despite the price, they are growing in popularity. One Cincinnati man has a cheaper option that may be just as effective. Alex Hoppel of Three Guy Supply is selling ballistic armor plates that slide right into the student's backpack. Hoppel says that the plates are rated to stop rounds of fires from a pistol, and they also have a potential to stop larger or faster rounds.
This plate right here, when you hit it with a like an AR round, if you're right up on it, it'll probably go through. If you're back 15, 20, 30 feet, you'll see a little bit of back face deformation where you will see the imprint of the bullet, but it's not going to go through.
The plates weigh about a pound each and cost $150. You can find out how to buy one of those on our website, WLWT.com.
The cost of EpiPens continuing to soar.
Now, one state is changing how insurance companies can cover them, the new requirements, plus how soon the new law goes into effect.
And changing the way students learn by backing away from a traditional school model. The innovative new high school that celebrated its first day in Northern Kentucky.
Dew points in the upper 60s and low 70s. What does that mean? It means it's oppressively humid, but a little bit of a break from the humidity coming up, and some showers and storms in the forecast next on News 5 at noon.
You're watching WLWT News 5, leading the way.
A new high school opened its doors today, giving 1,000 students the opportunity to learn through hands-on projects and collaboration. It's called Ignite Institute down in Erlanger, and it uses an innovative approach to teach kids science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. Administrators say that they're moving away from the idea that scholars have to go to a 4-year college in order to be successful. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are heavy curriculum days. Tuesdays and Thursdays are called production days, meaning the student will decide what they want to work on themselves.
Education is one of those fields that a classroom looks the same way as it did 100 years ago. Well, that's not the case here at the Ignite Center. The students gave us a vision that there's a different way to learn, the way they're learning.
The original goal was to have at least 600 students, but the school surpassed that and they had to implement a waiting list.
New this noon, the state of Illinois will require insurance companies to cover EpiPens for kids. So the governor signed the law Tuesday requiring companies to cover the EpiPen injectors for people 18 and under. EpiPens can stop an allergic reaction and save lives, but they cost families about $600 each. The price has gone up drastically in the last decade. The new law takes effect on January 1st.
A hearing is scheduled today for the parents of Kyle Plush and their lawsuit against the city of Cincinnati.
Yeah, Plush called 911 twice when he was trapped in the back of his van, but help never came. He died last April, and now his parents are suing the city and others involved in his death. Today's hearing is expected to focus on evidence that the Plush family wants to collect for this case. Also new this noon, a Swedish court has found American rapper A$AP Rocky guilty for assault in his role in a street brawl in Stockholm back in June. So the rapper, whose real name is Rakim Myers, earlier pleaded self-defense, saying he tried to avoid the confrontation with two men who were persistently following his entourage. A$AP, along with two others, were convicted of assault and given conditional sentences, which means they face no prison time in Sweden unless they commit a similar crime.
The FBI is investigating a shooting incident at ICE offices in Texas. Shots were fired at two buildings associated with Immigration and Customs Enforcement early Tuesday. No one was injured, but authorities say the bullets came within inches of federal officials inside the building. The FBI believes the offices were targeted. And Texas authorities are also looking for a woman who they're calling the wedding crasher, real-life wedding crasher. Officers in Comal County say that this woman has been showing up to weddings, stealing gifts, namely gift cards and cash. Police say that she has crashed at least half a dozen weddings, always dressed up and sometimes even mingling with the guests. She was captured on surveillance video using gift cards she allegedly stole from a wedding. There's now a $4,000 reward for information leading to her capture.
That is bold.
The bride-to-be's mouth is open here.
Oh, man.
All right, well, the Reds have lost their chance to win the series against the Nationals.
Yeah, hopefully they can do better today than what we saw Tuesday in Washington. Alex Wood gave up 3 runs and 6 hits in his 5 innings on the mound. The Reds kept off the board until the top of the 7th when Jose Iglesias singles to center field, scoring Nick Senzel. Now the final score there, 3-1, and the Reds have dropped 2 straight in Washington. So the series finale there today at 4:05. It will be Trevor Bauer taking the mound, going up against Steven Strasburg of the Nationals. And Serena Williams had to withdraw from the Western and Southern Open Tuesday night. And this was what a lot of folks were worried about since Sunday, since Serena had to withdraw also from the championship match in Toronto. Now, she had hoped to battle through the back spasms, but the pain became too much for her to overcome. She withdrew about an hour before her first scheduled match on center court. Serena is a 2-time winner of the Western and Southern Open and says she plans to return next year. Serena issued this statement saying in part, quote, "I want to thank all the amazing fans here in the Cincinnati area for their support. It means so much. I promise I'll do my best to be back here next year."
Wishing her a speedy recovery. Meanwhile, Madeira teen Katie McNally and partner Allison Risk back in action today. They won their doubles match Tuesday and now advanced to the round of 16. Katie also got some good news from the U.S. Open. She picked up a wild card and now will be a part of the main draw. Good for her.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Always exciting to see someone local playing. And the good news is we've had very nice weather for Western and Southern, except for yesterday. Otherwise, things have been pretty dry, which is good news.
And that fog is moving out, Steve.
Yeah, we had problems this morning, some of the area under a dense fog advisory until 10 o'clock. But yeah, the fog is lifted, still a bit on the hazy side out there. We dropped to just 70 at the International Airport. That's 5 degrees above the average low temperature of 65. And when I type in that high number later on this afternoon, we'll be very close to the average high of 85. So we'll call today seasonably warm. And as far as the rainfall is concerned, a quick update on that. Nearly 40 inches since the beginning of the year. And well, typically by this time of the year, we've received about 28 inches, so we're still 11.5 inches above normal for the year, and we may get more rain later on this afternoon. In fact, I think we'll see some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Not seeing anything out there on the radar right now. We are dry and quiet at the noon hour, but just to the north. Notice in the last hour or so, we're beginning to see some showers and thunderstorms fire up just north of the Dayton area, and I think we'll see that area of showers and storms gradually sink southward throughout the afternoon, and we'll eventually see some of those stray or scattered showers and thunderstorms here in the tri-state. As far as the areas that stand the best chance of seeing that, off to the north, to the northeast and east. I wouldn't completely rule out a shower or storm at any place in the tri-state, but just know the best chance will be in this general area. As we head outside right now, 82 degrees. Skies are mostly cloudy right now at the airport, but look at the dew point. It is sky high. It's at nearly 70, and when you get dew points like that, it's very sticky, and that will be the case throughout the day today. A slight break tomorrow. I say slight because dew points will still be in at least the mid-60s for the next couple of days, and that's still quite muggy for this time of the year. No wind to help us out. The winds are calm right now. It feels more like 85 degrees. Here's a look at temperatures around the tri-state. Pretty much mid to upper 70s to low 80s at the noon hour. Batavia right now at 79 degrees, a bit cooler in Blanchester at 74. Wilmington, you're at 78 degrees and some 80s in this area. Harrison, Dillsboro, Vevey, Owenton, all checking in the low to mid 80s. So here's Futurecast as we head through the afternoon. Right now we're just fine, but by say 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, here we are. We have stopped it at 5. We'll see, again, some scattered showers and storms with the areas north and east of the city seeing the best chance of seeing those showers and storms. Otherwise, as we head through the overnight hours, we'll be dry and quiet and still on the muggy side. And then tomorrow afternoon, I would not completely rule out maybe a stray shower or thunderstorm even on Thursday. Right now, Friday looks to be dry, and then more showers and storms as we head into the weekend. So, partly cloudy this afternoon. Again, some scattered showers and storms, and we will top out at a seasonably warm 85 degrees. Tonight, we'll drop down to 66. Could see a leftover shower or thunderstorm in the evening. Otherwise, partly cloudy and just a little less humid tonight. And then look at that 7-day forecast. Again, maybe a stray shower or storm on Thursday afternoon and evening. A dry Friday, highs in the mid-80s. Still mid-80s on Saturday, but getting into a pretty good chance of some showers and thunderstorms will make Saturday a weather impact day. A few showers and storms on Sunday, and again, even on Monday. Monday, yet another weather impact day. Ladies?
All right, and odd deliveries for some homeowners.
And old school TVs left all over a neighborhood. The odd crime that police are now investigating. That's next. You're watching Cincinnati's WLWT.